Mostly, we have local visitors, maybe 80%, Jamaicans visiting, and so we want in the future to have more foreign tourists visiting the sites, and we want to see them actually supporting the protected area. So, not just coming and they pay their fee and that's it, but maintaining contact and supporting the efforts of supporting conservation further.
Okay, great, thank you. And if you guys see something up here that's already here, you can just pass by it. If we covered it and you feel like, yeah, they got it, it's up there, you can just take it off.
Also, I would like to, can I have the microphone for just a second? Thank you. Just to get us moving here so that because everybody's got, it's been very interesting so far, but because we have a lot of people still left, I think what the best way to do this right now, and as I said, we'll later get into touching this, is to do something like, my stakeholder is, I have a small account, my stakeholder is international national tourists, NGOs, government, schools, environment, ministries, etc., etc. My ideal stakeholder would be more world travelers from places that are underdeveloped, sort of like that, so that we can, you don't have to be so concise as I just said, with the idea of we've got a lot of stuff up here already, so we don't need to go back and describe these things, we can just touch over them. Thank you.
Okay. My current stakeholders is the mainly central government and local government, and academics, and NGO groups, and also our association, the Tourism Korea, and I'm teaching in the university, so students. And also we have another association related to ecotourism, let's say, for example, Sustainable Tourism Association. And so my ideal stakeholders is the same, but I'd like to add tour operators, hotels, and protected area or ecotourism site managers, because we will carry out certification system next year. And then I expect some rules, except described is for government, they need to make effective policies and then support the association. For example, in Korea, ecotourism Korea, we need the central government support. And the government, they don't actually cooperate each other, so their role is cooperating each other and then they carry out their policies. And then it's all mentioned there. And then my expectation for NGOs and local government is understanding business. That they so much focus on just conservation, or sometimes just they say about local participants. So participation. So I want to ask them to understand business and the tourism. So they need to understand what tourists need. And what else? Yeah. I will add some later.
We're going to have more time also to discuss some of these things more in detail later, but right now we want to see.
Those are really good.
These
are amazing.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of
writing the
input.
textbook.
Yeah, I'd like to speak for her.
Okay.
Her current stakeholders is teachers, school teachers, and students, and also tourists and local government. And they say they have foreign tourists too. So, an idea.
Employees, is it that? Yeah.
Not
Not employees.
Not employees.
Oh, that might be good.
Yeah.
And idea stakeholders is local accommodation and then restaurant, local governmental features, and then local president. And then what she think their goal is they needed to develop more education program, and then needed to do activities for tourists. And actually, she has a lot of school. She has visitors from school and then their parents. So she expects their parents also need to understand the education and environment.
So the familial hierarchy.
We had local community understanding or capacity.
Maybe family?
Family.
Yeah, family.
And then the local accommodation and restaurant actually has no authentic things. So accommodation needed to be design showing the quality. And restaurant also need to develop their own menu for the tourists and they keep their traditions.
So cultural identity.
Yeah. And also all the stakeholders need enhance their cognition and then they understanding of ecotourism.
Okay. Maybe.
And then need developed English or other languages speaking clients.
So command of dominance over more languages.
Yes.
Maybe Professor Kim.
I already overwhelmed by
Okay.
We covered.
I'd like to teach them to say.
Okay.
Right. I work for an Italian NGO, and we are developing different sustainable tourism projects. I'm thinking in particularly of the project we are running in Burkina Faso. We are working at the periphery of the Darboun Park, which is a transboundary park between Burkina Faso, Niger, and Benin. And I think that most of my stakeholders have been covered. It was really interesting. The only aspect I wanted to stress is one of my local stakeholders are the local authorities, the majors, and
Like what?
it's the commune, the major of one of the. It's one of the communities which is.
So is it local government?
Yes,
or-
the local government.
Okay. Great.
And they are partner of our project, and the role they are playing is the role of local authority there. But the role I would like them to play is to be more engaged in conflict mediation, because there is a lot. The fact of having the protected area as a park in Africa brings a lot of conflict. The population doesn't understand why they cannot use the park, and also the other thing is that intervening in tourism, we had a lot of problem because we choose to reinforce one communitarian structure, and we could do one and not 10. So we had a lot of problems in saying, okay, we are doing it here. And so the communities did not understand why we were only intervening in one village. So I think it's important to have the engagement of local communities to have communities understanding that they have a role in conservation, but if they conserve the nature and if they organize themselves, they are able to product benefit for not only for one village but for everybody. Thanks.
Very good.
Very good, thank you.
I like the conflict resolution
Yeah, that's a critical piece, yeah.
I think we don't have enough time.
Well, is there anything that you don't see that you thought, oh, this is really important? Anything that's missing from your list? We got your list?
So it's my turn. I would just like to add, one of the major stakeholders in our place in the Philippines are, since it's more of the ecotourism in the marine areas, so the important stakeholders are boatmen and helpers. Boatmen.
Oh, open.
And slash helpers also. Because usually if they're not knowledgeable on the environment, especially the coral reefs, they just anchor their boats in the corals, and that's what causes the damage in the corals. And there's nothing more to show for the tourists, locals or foreigners. And also one thing is, or the scientists, since the Philippines is famous in the world, so like in Fiji, we have to be sure of the endemic species. Those are natural resources found in the areas, and which are also recognizable by the world of the scientists. So we have the credibility that these are really found in that area. And also in the indigenous people, since part of the ecotourism is to showcase their culture and also their practices, so they can be involved also as stakeholders. Maybe added in the local communities, but sometimes
that's a good.
like here in Korea, they have the cultural village and some other areas also, and it's one of the attractions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Korean, not Japanese. Chinese. So I work for a small environmental consulting institute. So my main business on ecotourism is concentrated in two parts. One is setting ecotourism business model. Another one is setting policy and strategy especially for local government. So before setting ecotourism policy and strategy, so I met so many local residents, local NGOs, local restaurant and hotel owners. So there are my main stakeholders. Also, other stakeholders exactly same as Dr. Kang, but Dr. Kang usually work for land and forest. I work for many coastal and marine area. So I can add one or two stakeholders, MPA managers.
Okay.
MPA managers and
MPA.
MPA managers.
Marine protected area.
Yeah, marine protected area managers and underwater scuba divers.
And what?
Underwater scuba divers.
Okay, divers. So they would be the tourists, but we'll make sure that they're identified. Land.
So, one more.
I think you
more?
still have?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
I'm not finished yet.
He's not.
As you may know, we have two obstacles development for tourism. One is misunderstanding what is ecotourism. Also, another one is no good ecotourism profit model. So
Kind of getting you focused now. Yeah.
the business model, yeah, so business model, especially for local enterprise. So my expectation is the stakeholders fully understand the meaning of real meaning of tourism, also business model for
I would
local
say
resident.
education and training might be the way that
Yeah.
you put that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. That's all.
Thank you.
thank you.
Feeling like I'm reading a textbook because
What, is there one more? Yes.
I think we list stakeholders and local expertise, local
Guides.
no, local expertise and local scientists.
I've got
We
scientists
have scientists
Yeah, international academians.
and
and
scientists.
scientists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I'll put
many
local.
local professor was
Sure.
expertise understand their
Sure.
regional characteristics.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple more additions that we might or might not. One is,
Sorry, I'd like to add a congressman. No,
well, we have ministry.
We have government.
and government and
They impact,
I'll put 'em up here.
I think it just should be government and ministry, something like that.
So not just specifically related to tourism.
Right,
the
all,
whole-
yeah, because it's integrated, right? Yes.
I would like to, I'd like to add, I also had bureaucracy, which would fit into
I
what we
think
just
that
talked
fits
about,
here.
so
We'll just wipe that out.
the stakeholders are all government, political entities. We did not include, as far as I can see, social services. In Costa Rica, for instance, part of our certification requires you to have a conversation and a policy with PANI, which protects children from sexual abuse. And this is important for the training of them for later times too.
Would that include medical? too? Is it-
Yeah, I mean, I can see that social services, because it's all inclusive. And also, I have as role for the private sector or the public sector, bridge builders between the two. I don't know where that would go.
Well, we have cooperation.
Okay, that might go in there. It's a separate art to build bridges than it is to cooperate. So one actually makes it possible to cooperate, the other one involves the cooperation itself. So there we go. Okay, well, I think we've got a pretty good,
This is amazing.
anything else?
Foreign investors back.
Finance, yeah, very good.
Better way, I was thinking.
Financial institutions. Socioeconomic, maybe?
As far as local authorities and local governments, what I would like to see in my case is for them to make sure that the destination is greener, so that the city, the destination, there are more facilities for recycling, transportation is greener,
So infrastructure,
greener destination.
destination infrastructure.
As far as, recycling, public transportation, cleaner city destination.
So the stakeholder would be, are you talking about a stakeholder?
Well, I think we.
Or is that an action for local government?
Expectation
Role
from
we
them,
play,
expectation from them, yes.
Yeah.
Expectation for them to provide more recycling facilities and
Greener infrastructure.
A sustainable policy, which would include all of those
For the
things,
destination to be more sustainable.
and a policy
Yeah,
attached.
because you're doing sustainable in terms of the benefit destination, it is itself, and also sustainable, so it doesn't.
Do you have another?
Yes, yeah, and just add in the expected area, the networking may it be from the local, national, or international level. For example, like you guys are promoting the eco-lodge accommodations. Then if we are connected to you or linked to you, then you can also help us promote this.
Okay.
Okay, now, I think What we don't want to do right now, because we can do this later, is getting into strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, because that is totally connected to this, but this is not what we're trying to do with this thing right now, because otherwise we'll get into a whole other column, which is impediments and, challenges. So I think we've got it.
Yeah, so if you look at this and just step back from a minute, you can see we've got a lot of good stakeholders. We kind of all agree. I think we were starting to hear repeats, and say, yeah, those are important, those are important. I don't think there's anything on here that we would say is not important. But look at the role that we think they're playing now, and look at the role we expect them to play. And I think the question becomes, how do we get from here, this little list, to here, this more comprehensive, holistic list of support for the initiative? How do we get there? That's probably the million-dollar question of the day, but how do we start that work? And I think what we're going to try and do is, as we go through sort of the business model for sustainability, I want you to think about that question in relation to your national park, in relation to your